सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। Verse 11. Unswerving devotion to me by steadfast yoga, resorting to solitary place and distaste for crowd of people. The effort that you put in to unite back with the self is called yoga. Anything that you do, all your activities, all your emotions, all your thinking is directed by the thought of union with the self. If you do that, then that activity or that emotion or the thinking becomes a yoga. See, that practice has to be having the quality of ananya, no other. I do not do anything other than uniting with the self. And the problem is you do not know the self. How will you unite? Like nowadays people say, no, how can you marry a person who we don't know? So what to do now? Date. Now you can't have a date with. What can you God? How can you have a date with God? Not possible. Let me try first. It's exactly like saying, give me the taste of what it is to be an IAS officer. Right. And then I will pursue to become IAS officer. Then I will be motivated. If I don't even know what it is to be an IAS officer, how will I be motivated to pursue that? Not possible, no. That's the problem of all of us. Why you are not pursuing is because you don't even know what it is. And the tragedy of this is you will know what it is only after you start the pursuit. In fact, only at the end of the pursuit you will know. Now what to do? Yoga. Ananya yoga. Ananya yoga means the effort you put in. Ananya yoga is what here now? Problem. Nada. That means you do not put an effort to get attached to God. You don't put an effort to unite with the self. All your efforts is to stay away from your attachment. See that? So the first step is not assertion, the first step is negation. Neti, neti. Not this, not this. This is not mine. This is not mine. This is not mine. This is not me. This is not me. Keep repeating this again and again and again. This is called Ananya Yoga. Don't keep saying, I am God, I am God, I am God. Repeating, I am God is not union with God, please. Ananya Yoga is the constancy with which you go on negating your world, negating your involvements with the world. See, that is called Ananya Yoga. That you have to practice. Along with this practice of Ananya Yoga, there has to be one more thing along with that is Avyabhicharini, unswerving. Vibhacharini, Avyabhicharini, opposite. Unflinching devotion. Unflinching devotion towards the pursuit. Don't say God. The devotion is towards what? Devotion is towards the pursuit, please. Not the result of the pursuit. If you are devoted to God, now you become result oriented. Right? And that result orientation is what is not allowing you to maintain that consistency. So Avyabhacharini, when he says unflinching sir, devotion to the path. See, to that there has to be a unflinching devotion, uncompromising, nothing else. And for these things, it's almost impossible to give example because if I give example, it will hit you. That's the problem. Unflinching devotion. What is the example you will give? One wedding invitation is enough for you to cancel the class, no? As though the wedding is not going to happen if you are not there. Your wedding, you have to. Right. Or your son's wedding or your daughter's wedding, you have to. Son wedding also need not be there. Daughter wedding has to be there. Panigrahana he has to give, no. Others, boy side, what is he going to do? Nothing. Girl side father is correct. There has to be some work. Otherwise, neighbors, brother-in-laws, cousin getting married. And by mistake they saw you. And they gave the invitation. Now you can't come for class. One wedding invitation is enough to distract you from this. That's what he says, Avyabhacharini. Simple, nothing great. It's not that something very big which is taking you out. Some silly things, is enough to distract. Unflinching devotion towards what is the question? Not to God. Don't say it to the self. Unflinching devotion is towards the path. That yoga that you have accepted to practice. That yoga that you have subscribed to. Before you subscribe, you have to see the validity of it. That is correct. You see that? Before taking up something, you have to try it out. You can go in the showrooms, no? You see that it looks very nice. Also, the size is your size. But then what do you do? There's a trial room, right? You go to the trial room, put it on, and see whether it's fine. You put on the trouser, you sit, stand up, turn, raise your, imagine. You can't sit, you can't stand, but it's a perfect fit, it's a slim fit. The trousers sometimes they have slim fit. If you are slim, you can use a slim fit. Huh? You take that, you try, no. But then you can't be going window shopping, trying after trying after trying. That's exactly what we are doing in the name of spiritual today. Everyone is engaged in window shopping. I'll try this, I'll try that, I'll try this. One Janma over in trials only. And the best part is what people do is in trial room, they put it on, take a picture and post on Instagram. And the whole world thinks what? You are having that. No? But those who know you know. Don't get on to this spiritual shopping, please. You go for shopping, correct. But then buy. After buying these points, okay, not before buying. Before you subscribe to a particular system, you have to check whether is it matching. What is that we have to see? Fundamentally, few points you have to consider. The first point you need to consider is what sort of a personality are you? What sort of a person are you? One. Two. What sort of a person to whom you are going for learning? See, if you are a type of a person who is thinking, you cannot go to a person who is singing. Nothing wrong in singing. You cannot go to Mirabai and say, please guide me. He'll say, what is there to guide? Tyagaraja will sing. If you are of that nature, go. So these are basics you should have studied before you take to that yoga. Right. This quality is what he is referring to here is after you have done your homework and subscribe to a particular system. After subscribing to a particular system, how you have to be? There's no divided loyalty. That's the meaning of Abhyabicharini. No divided loyalty is here. Like most of us do that. The office, suddenly the fellow gets a call. Wife who is expecting, of course, the doctors are given the date next week. But unfortunately, she started having the labor pain and she has been taken to the hospital. And the doctors were saying is a possibility of some complex. Please come. As he puts the phone down, he has a God's picture there. Engada Jalpati. Picture he has. Yes, Balaji, please take care. No compromise of two. I want both. Okay. He comes down, and by then the secretary has called the driver to bring the car. The driver has come. Has sir, what happened? Uh, Go to hospital. Sir, what happened? Madam is going. Nothing to worry, sir. Garbha Rakshambihe is there. Hmm? He'll take care. Now what he does? Don't worry, man. The case has already been given to Balaji. Garbha Rakshambihe, forget. He will handle. Will you say that? Immediately the fellow says what? Doesn't matter. Garbha Rakshambihe also get to. Suddenly enters there. And the nurse comes and says, there's a sister there, she comes and says, Jesus will save, don't worry. He says what? I don't care whether it is Balaji or Garbha Rakshambihe or Christ. At least one of them don't know. That is called Yavacharini. Abhyavacharini means what? Already this has been given to him. He will handle. Or if it has been handed over to Garbha Rakshambihe, it is done. That's it. There is no going for second opinion here. Let's go for a second opinion. Sir. Better no. Nothing. That's the quality he says. Beautiful quality. Ananya Yogena Avyavacharini Mai Bhakti. Devotion to me should have these two qualifications: the steadfastness in the effort, yoga, and unflinching, unswerving devotion. Yes.
So in the previous class, we had said Ananya Yogena is an unswerving mind, and
Kumar will say, yeah, don't worry.
steadfast intellect. So is there a difference mind intellect?
Kumar, there are two. Just connect. There are two qualities he has given, and we are having two equipments. So I say what?
One is mind.
One is for one, one is for intellect. Problem solved. Allah, don't worry. Kumar gimmicks we say. Oh, then we will ask, okay, what about Sraucham, sir? Intellecta, minda? You know, since there are two, and there are two equipments we have, we establish a link. That's about it. There's nothing very critical on that actually. In passing, we say that's all. Yes.
Unwavering means it is connected to the mind.
That's what she's asking.
That's what.
Yeah, you can connect it like that. Because usually that wavering and all that, goes along with emotion. See, steadfastness is more to do with intellectual conviction. Steadfastness is conviction. Therefore, I said one is reference to the intellect, one is reference to the mind. That is how we made. It's not that arbitrary connection. There is some quality, resemblance is there. Since it is there, we just said that's about it. Another beautiful quality, next to two. In the next to two qualities, see, for all other qualities, we have been giving, sir, how to practice. How to practice. Now, these two qualities itself is the practice. Don't ask me a upaya for this. The next to two qualities. For all other qualities, we have given certain upayas. Sir, how to practice. If I decide to practice these qualities, what should I do? That we have been seeing. But these two qualities, That itself is the upaya. Now what to do for that, I don't know. You know, this resorting to solitary place, vivikta desha. Vivikta desha sevitva. Aratihi jana samsiddhi. Samsiddhi means crowd. Jana samsiddhi means crowd of people. Ratihi, cherishing, enjoying. Ratihi means not cherishing. You don't cherish a crowd of people. So what you need to do is these two qualities needs to be understood together. You know, so there's a close connection between these two, very close to each other, very just the same quality with a different shade perhaps, like same color but different shades, sir. But it'll appear as two different colors. It's just a degree, that's all. Same way here. These two qualities have that resemblance. The resorting to solitary place, vivikta desha. It means going. Any given point of time, he just resorts to solitary place. Leave me alone. When do you say leave me alone? When you're highly disturbed. Right? Don't think he is also like that. Leave me alone category. It's not a leave me alone category. Even though he says that. He is also saying the same thing. Leave me alone. The crowd of people. Crowd na allergy. Now we find this quality with all those people. All those masters had this quality of running away into solitude. Whether it is Socrates or Einstein, you say, this great poets you take, Christ, Moses, all of them. Not to talk about these fellows, because 99% of them were not in the world at all. They were all somewhere in the jungle. That's where it gives. Now, vivikta desha means solitary place. Solitary place means what? Not that where I am staying alone. Not that place. That place should have a property. A special property of that space is a place where you are alone, but nothing to be scared about that place. See, you go to Smashana alone, no. Right. But sound of that is how? There. You are alone there, but still, that is, it's not Vivikta Desha. Vivikta Desha, there is a specific property should be there. What is it? The place should not trigger fear. But at the same time, the place should not be having anyone else. Beautiful quality that is. Vivikta Desha. You go out. Why? Now we come from the other side. The flip side, if you see, it's a little easy. The flip side of it is, you cannot be alone. See, solitary confinement. It's a torture. When you make normal crimes, they put you in jail. Inside the jail, if you make a mistake, what do you do? It's a rigorous imprisonment. There also the fellow does what to do. Put him in solitary confinement. 15 days, 30 days, they'll put him. All alone in the room, he has to be sitting all day. It's a height of mental torture. And in other places, they were having dark room. But these Russians are far very intelligent in those things. He said, there's another room which is more torturous than that. What is it now? White room. "24/7 there will be bright light and everything is white. You can't even sleep. Dark room, at least you can sleep. Right? They'll serve food. It's not a problem. They'll serve food. It's not that they'll make you starve. They'll serve food. You can have food and then sleep at least. First few hours. But in a white room, after a point your eyes cannot take. You see, it's too bright. It cannot sustain. It will pain. The problem is you cannot be closing your eyes and staying for a long period of time also. For days together, not possible. Unless you are in deep sleep. In a sitting posture, which is called meditation. Sit and close your eyes. But 30 days, how can you do? Continuously. So for us, solitary place is more associated with agitation, all that, all negative. But here he says, he goes. Sometimes we also go to a solitary place. Isn't it? I want to go and stay quiet for 10 days. Nothing else to do. I'm not going to talk to anyone. No phones. What is it? What is it? Detox, they say. Huh? Digital detox, correct. Digital detox. 10 days. That means what? You are practicing this quality. Vivikta Desha. Remember, he is not referring to the act, please. He is referring to what is backing that act. If you are resorting to a solitary place because you are disturbed in the crowd, with people, you see, then it's not Vivikta Desha Sevitva, please. That is a sickness. That's a psychological illness. What he is referring to is, as I am not happy with myself. Since I feel that I am incomplete, inadequate as I am, I want something from the world to come and entertain me. All entertainment is nothing but what? Any form of entertainment that you are having has only one principle. What is it? Huh? You're reading a newspaper, illusion. All entertainment.
I will be happy only when I do that. Without that,
That is called entertainment.
that's
Sorry?
Keep your, this.
Sorry?
Keep your,
Catering to your desires.
yeah.
That's entertainment. You are defining entertainment. What gives you happiness, sir? Music. I go for a music concert. Entertainment. Any type of music concert. I'm not saying, you have to go to only Carnatic classicalist music concert and, pop music. No, it's not that. One fellow goes there, one fellow goes here. Depends upon their taste. Correct.
Temporary diversion of
What? Diversion from?
the
Correct. You're coming closer.
from the disturbance. Actually,
What is agitating? Yes, something is agitating me. That agitation I have to get out of. That I need that distraction. That the distraction gives me peace. That's what I'm calling as entertainment. What is that? What is the psychology of all entertainments is just self-forgetfulness. That 3 hours of music concerts are heavenly. Why? You forgot yourself. You forgot who you are, where you are, who is sitting. That's why the couple, we had a very good time. What did you do? We went to watch a movie. You forgot yourself. You forgot the fellow sitting next to you. Then what good time? Hmm? Another person eating, they forget. Another person traveling, they forget. Anywhere you see, all that you are claiming to be entertaining to you is nothing but does only one thing. It makes you forget yourself. It can be anything. It can be even drugs, alcohol, TV. That's why it's called an idiot box. I don't know why. The TV is an idiot. The fellow who is watching that is an idiot. Why? He forgets himself. All entertainment. Because being aware of yourself gives that much of agitation. But then I'm going for a self-awareness program. What are you doing in self-awareness program? Are you becoming more aware of yourself or you are forgetting yourself? Think carefully. Because anywhere you remember as you are, because as you are today, as you believe yourself to be today, you are incomplete and inadequate. As long as you believe yourself to be incomplete and inadequate, how can you be entertaining yourself? How can you feel it complete? Impossible. And always that inadequacy, that incompleteness of yours will create a disturbance. And you need to do something to fill the disturbance. And you have been attempting to fill the disturbance, but it is not getting filled up. Therefore, what to do now? Distraction. Whole day in the office, what are you doing? Trying to fulfill. Nothing is happening. So you come back from office, what do you do? Distract. Watch TV. Viviktadesha Sevitva means the one who understands that he is complete. Since he has that knowledge that he is, there is nothing inadequate in him or nothing incomplete in him, there is no void in him, there is no lacuna in him or in her, or otherwise. Today is so much of confusion. Now, which one to use, we don't know. Today, what to call you? Vivikta Desha. Yes.
as you mentioned, like entity we are forgetting ourselves. How do we distinguish it? Meditation, where we are also trying to
What are you doing? You are getting absorbed in one, forgetting all other. Right? No. You're watching the breath, sir, nothing else. So you're oblivious to all other aspects of your personality. You're focusing only on one dimension of your personality, which has got nothing to do with your personality. Correct? Huh? That is why those masters have chosen that one. Why they chose breathing? Because focusing on breathing is the most easiest form of distraction from your personality. Why? Breathing has got nothing to do with your personality. Correct? No? What is the proof? I'm just claiming you're also nodding your head. Easy to talk to you people. Anything I say, they say, correct, sir. See? How? How do you say? What is the proof? Hmm? Digestion also is monitoring. No? They could have said digestion.
The way we think our breathing pattern does change.
I said it has got nothing to do with your personality. Now you are connecting that and saying they are connected. Puriye ulta. And then he is agreeing to what I am saying. Correct, sir. He is saying exactly opposite. Sir, they are connected. I am saying they are not connected.
Breathing is body, it's physical. Personality is more that is not a physical thing. Personality is subtler than physical.
Okay? I'm not saying no. Of course, yes. That's one of the ways of understanding. Personality is defined by what? Your behavior doesn't define your personality. Does your action define your personality? Or your thoughts and emotions and qualities of you? What defines your personality? It's the subtle body that defines your personality, not the gross body. Right? Now, focusing on the gross body, the problem is what? When you focus on the physical body, okay, what I'm going to do now? I'm going to focus on my toe. Right? No. See, all that you require is a point of focus. Let it be anything, no? Why you have to keep it as breathing? Right? And you started believing there is something mystical about it. There is nothing mystical. So suddenly, when I start breathing, something will start racing. Nothing will race. Suddenly, will start alleviating. People try also that. So funny, I tell you. All complicated things. The prana is not just the breath, please. There is something finer dimensions to the prana is there. But still, prana doesn't define your personality. That's why you need to understand the basics of Vedantic anatomy of a human being. See, chemistry student will understand the anatomy differently. Physics student will understand anatomy differently. He will say everything is atom. Chemistry student will say what? Carbons, organic, inorganic, chemicals and all that he will start. Biology student will say what? Everything is a cell. Are you a cell? Are you atom? Are you carbon? What are you? Anger that you are feeling is the chemicals in the brain. Our chemicals are. Breathing has a connection to a personality. Why that breath is kept as breathing is that which is linking the physical body, the gross body, to the subtle body. See, the subtle body is tied to the gross body. What is a rope? It's held. The subtle body is held in the gross body with what? With that prana. That is why the Panchakosha Viveka we study. Panchakosha Viveka, one of the most important dimension of fundamentals of Vedanta. Shariratraya Viveka, Panchakosha Viveka, these are all fundamentals. Fundamental in the sense Vedantic anatomy of human being. There is a, what is this? Annamaya Kosha, food sheath, body. Then Pranamaya Kosha. Then Manomaya Kosha. Then Vijnanamaya Kosha. Then Anandamaya Kosha. Beyond these 5 koshas lies the pure consciousness, the self, Atman, Brahman. Right? I'm not going to take, the Panchakosha Viveka, I can't start now. The same Panchakosha Viveka is studied in another pattern. Same 5. Instead of 5, they make it into 3. That's called the Shariratraya Viveka. The first one is called Panchakosha Viveka. Second one is called Shariratraya Viveka. Shariratraya means there are 3 bodies. Sharira, body, Traya, 3. Distinction of 3 bodies. What is that? Gross body, subtle body, causal body. Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and Karana Sharira. Stula Sharira, Annamaya Kosha. Sukshma Sharira, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. In fact, if I do it this way, it will be easier for you. Annamaya Kosha, Stula Sharira. Anandamaya Kosha, Karana Sharira. 1 Kosha, 1 Sharira. Now, Sukshma Sharira. What is Sukshma Sharira now? What is left out? Only 3 are left out now. Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Right? 3 koshas left out. And there is only what is to be accounted, sir, only subtle body we have to account. All these 3, subtle body. Sir, but Pranamaya Kosha has 2 dimensions to it. 1 half of Pranamaya Kosha gets accounted with the Stula Sharira. Another 50% of Pranamaya Kosha gets accounted with Sukshma Sharira. So therefore, Stula Sharira equals 1.5 Kosha. Sukshma Sharira is equal to 2.5 Kosha. Karana Sharira equals 1 Kosha. This is the anatomy. Now, if they ask you to focus on the Stula Sharira alone, any part, anything with reference to Sula Sarira. You can even take it as tip of the nose, which is what he says in the Gita. Or between the eyebrows. Some of them say tip of the nose, not this side or that side. There are two tips, no? Yeah. If you do this side, you will get squint eye. You will get headache. So they say, that's why they say third eye, go in between. The eyebrow, because the other tip. Invisible tip. Nose. Focus on that. That is also there. But then that is not being so popularized as much as the breath. Why? Because for you to distract, it should not be so away from you, at the same time it should be away from you. That's why prana they used, which is half subtle body, half gross body, physical body. Half there, half here. So therefore, prana becomes a good example. That is why many confusion comes to us. That is why we say, by altering my prana, I can alter my thinking. Your feeling can be altered by your breathing. For how long? Can you get rid of jealousy by breathing? Jealousy. What to do, sir? Jealousy will go. It will not go.
It might come down tomorrow.
That's called distraction. You get it? No. Yes, sir. Correct, sir. What do you do, sir? 10, 15 minutes, I'm so peaceful. Tomorrow, next week, she'll come and say, sir, I'm not endorsing. It's a distraction. All entertainments. It's just a question of subtle or gross. A subtle entertainment, a gross entertainment. But nevertheless, all that gives only one thing. What is it? Self-forgetfulness. When you go to a solitary place, you start remembering yourself. That's why it's a beautiful advice. Fellow gives it, in Tamil. Tanithiru. Be alone. Next one. Vidithiru. Be awake. When you are alone, what you do? Sleep. He says, no, don't go to sleep. Be awake. Third one, pasithiru. Stay in hunger. Don't say fasting. That's what we also do, sir. Intermittent fasting. Stay in the hunger for God. Realization. Be alert. Be observant about what is happening in your mind. How much your mind is playing a trick on you, you will be able to recognize only when you go stay alone. You will never be able to recognize it. Otherwise, impossible. So he says, this man is not going. He develops a flair for that. Like a lot of people, you see, driving the car, they switch on music. Without music, you can't travel. And they say we enjoy that. What are we enjoying? Music are enjoying, or the conversation you're enjoying, or the scenery you're enjoying. Let's say you have a long drive, you would not even remember what happened. No? See, if you think carefully, From 25 to 30, what were you doing in your life? You see, your school days also you'll remember more. You know that? You may remember. Too close. 25, 30. Not too close, huh? Huh? Ask Suresh, what were you doing? I started business. Then going to office. Then what? So interesting, huh? People don't remember what happened during that time. You can recollect your school days, you can recollect your teenage period, you can recollect those things and all that. We assume that we are so grown up. When you come to 25, what are you? Now? Fully grown adult. Is a complete adult, you say. From there to 30, 35, what was going on? What was happening? One thing I remember, sir, what marriage. I remember that. I got married. Allah. Pranashati. Everything destroyed. Vidithiru. Yes. Be alert. For that, Vivekta Desha Sevit. If you are not able to find a quiet place, find a quiet time. But however, you've got to find something there to be quiet. In that quietude, you cannot stay, you move away from that. Your inability to stay quiet inability to relate to a quiet place is why you start whistling, you start singing. When you're alone, what you do? You start singing or listen to some music, some video. Many people, they switch on the TV and go to somewhere else. Then why that is? No, it has to be there. You're not listening. And one person was telling me this. What audacity they have, to tell me this. I'll watch your, YouTube lectures when cooking. What? As they're cooking, push that cylinder, that thing sound is coming, and this, grinder is running there, and this mixie sound is there. In between, I am also saying, Sana, Otu, Shanti, 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 Natta Shanti. I'm listening to your lectures. What is going on? See, you cannot be quiet, you see. The quietness agitates. Why? You go to a noisy places, cannot be with yourself. That's the fundamental problem. So Bhajgovinda beautifully he says, Yogaratova, Bhogaratova, Sangaratova, Sangavihina, Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chitta, Nandati Nandati Nandatyeva. You are in yoga, nothing doing. Whether you are in company or in solitude, doesn't matter. The one whose mind is reveling in Brahman, the thought of Brahman. Nothing else matters. Nothing matters. It doesn't make any difference. But as a preference you take, see that? You don't have a liking for it. There's no raga for quiet place. Okay? But there is a rasa for quiet place. That's what I call as preference. You prefer this. Like, I prefer curd rice. I like curd rice. What is the difference? Given a choice, I will go for curd rice. I like curd rice means what?
Dislike other food.
Need it.
No meal can be complete without curd rice. No matter what you serve me. You take me to Italian restaurant, I will ask for what? Menu பார்த்துட்டு curd rice இல்லையா? Huh? You go to Egypt and search for curd rice. No. Sarana Bhavan இருக்கா? You go for Sarana Bhavan, idli. Button idli, sir. Sarana Bhavan idli where? New York. New York you go, if you have a liking, you cannot be without it. You see, a preference is different. A jnani doesn't have a liking, but he has a preference. He will have preferences. Now we think they should not have any preferences. Anything given, they should eat. They have specific preferences. Everyone is allowed and entitled to have their preferences. But what is objected to is developing a liking for it. Because development of a liking for it brings so many associated issues. Whereas preferences doesn't have a side effects. So therefore, he has a preference. That's what is referred as Vivikta Desha Sevitvam. Resorting to solitary place means he has a preferences for a solitary place. Not that he has an aversion to the opposite place. It's not that he is having an aversion to crowd. It's not all that. It's a preference of his. The capacity to be on your own, that's called Vivikta Desha Sevitvam. It doesn't matter where you are. That's what in Bhajgovindam he says. Yoga Ratova, Bhoga Ratova. Sangha Ratova, Sangha Vihina. It doesn't make a difference whether you are with company or not. Are you capable of being in a state of blissfulness by yourself? If you are not entertaining personality to yourself, if you are a boring thing to yourself, how on earth you can entertain another person? That's the problem of life. Two halves becomes a whole is mathematics, but life says two halves will become quarter. 1/2 becomes 1/4, not 1. Now we think it is going to become 1. No, it becomes quarter. That's what happens to you after marriage. You get a child, 1/6. You get a second child, further. Fraction goes down and down and down in life. That's why it is frustrating. This is so much of problem. Why? When I am not able to be someone who can be happy with myself, how do you expect the other person will be happy with me? Is it possible? Huh? According to me, I cannot be happy with myself, but you should be happy with me. And if you claim, I take that as a certificate. இதுதான் விமூடாத்மா. Now, Moodatma, first stage. Second one is when someone else comes and says, my better half, you are happy about it. He say you are half. Arakirku, he says. No, half crack, he says. Then you feel proud about it. Someone says, oh, I enjoy that company of yours. when you are not able to enjoy company of yours, someone else comes and tells you they enjoy your company, you get a kick out of it. And you subscribe to it, you believe in that. Weird as a human being. No creature in this world is as weird as human. There is nothing doing it. Vivikta Desha Seva. See, when you go there, I can't give you the methodology, but I can give you the effects of it. There are certain, benefits. When you go alone, there are very many benefits there. The first benefit is, remember, these benefits are for a person who is attempting. You see, when you are not working on any of these efforts, the one who is not in the path of yoga, if he goes to Vivikta Desha, what is it called? Escaping. He's an escapist. He's escaping. Whereas, when a person who is in the path, when he withdraws, that we don't call as escapism. That is known as effort, Vivikta Desha. So what is that he gains? There are some benefits in that. The first benefit is, only when you are alone without any of this external aids to distract you is a time where the knowledge that you have gained sinks. See, otherwise, it will not sink into your personality, it will evaporate. That is why, for most of you, we'll meet next week. I say, and you walk from here to the door, everything is forgotten. You won't remember anything. Something very interesting, but then what did he say? What was the discussion about? All that forgotten. That's the nature of this knowledge. It's the very knowledge nature is such that it is highly volatile. Like Vidyaranya gives the example, how it disappears. It disappears like you sprinkle water drops on a hot iron plate. Those are the you sprinkle and then take a broom. Nothing will go out. Everything is already evaporated. Beautiful example he gives. It's like petrol. It will disappear. Highly volatile. It evaporates. This knowledge to sink in, the most conducive space is alone. When you are alone, this knowledge has this, you develop the capacity to digest the knowledge. Number one. Not only you would be able to digest the knowledge, your thinking ability goes up. Your Viveka Shakti increases. You develop the power to think. The thinking ability of yours. There's nothing to disturb. That's why we say study early in the morning. Why we recommend early morning study is only for this purpose. Because no distractions. There is no distractions. There is a possibility for you to think. Thinking gets sharper. Vivikta Desha. So first, the gained knowledge gets digested by you. You're able to assimilate that knowledge. Along with that, you would be able to develop your thinking ability, whereby the new doors gets opened. You see, it's a great benefit, very big benefit that is for those who are this gaining knowledge. Sir, I'm not into the path of gaining knowledge and all that. For me, what is there? Hmm? First thing you learn is you get a taste of what it is to be independent. What it is to be independent. The taste of independence. The joy of independence you get. The bliss of independence you enjoy. Beyond all this, one very, very important thing happens when you are alone. I mean, for a length of period, not like one day I'm going to be alone. No, no, it has to be for a lengthy period. And I say lengthy period, don't ask me, sir, how many days? Oh, you have to decide, right? There has to be a period of staying alone. How do you do that? What do you do for that? What happens there? Most of the time, all of us believe that the desires in me are getting triggered because of the stimuli. Correct. So if there's no stimuli, no trigger. Why I got angry? No, because they said this. She did it. He said this. She said this. He did this. That happened. This happened. That is why I got angry, sir. Otherwise, on my own, I wouldn't have had anger. So you genuinely believe that your desires and your passions and your frustrations and your angers and all these emotions, everything is because of the external stimuli. What you don't understand is it is not the external stimuli. Even if there is no external stimuli, your mind will create that external stimuli and kindle that emotion. Almost very difficult to realize that when you are in the world. Your mind will bring that imaginary stimuli and react to it. See, you're not reacting to a real stimuli. The real stimuli is not there, but you are only imagining it. It is only your memory. That memory comes out and you start reacting to that memory. He said that, no. How can he say that? Now, you are getting that anger, you are getting that frustration, you are getting that jealousy, this emotion is directed to whom? Directed where? If you are there in front of me, you say something, I shout at you, I whack you also. Hit you, you hit me, something is happening. Correct? When I'm sitting alone, I recall the memory. In that memory, what you said then comes. And then I start having that anger. Now, this anger directed where? Where will it go? Needs a direction, no. Has to come out, right? Where will it go? Because the person is not there. Now, don't say, I give my anger there in the astral body, ether says it will take and travel and go and land on that fellow. You need a psychiatric treatment. Remember. Now, if it is not the case for anger, is it possible for love? Sir, anger, that rule is not there. For love, it will go. Cloud love, it will take. Poetry. You see, in poetry, they say, the heroine will say, the hero who has gone for a war, in the battlefield, in the night, you look at the moon, I look at the moon. Through the moon, let us talk to each other. Poetry, love. Imagine you sit there and keep talking in the battlefield. You will not be there. No. Poetry, not reality. We start believing in all these things. How delusive your life is, how your mind is taking a toll on you, you will realize only when you practice this quality. Vivikta Desha Sevikta. And also this Jana Samsiddhi, Arati. The distaste for the crowd of people. Not that you are having an aversion to them, please. It's not that aversion to people. It's not that place. It's not that you don't. It's referring to what, sir? It is, all that it means is avoiding the company of people who disturb your pursuit. You see? Whereas you court the company of people who aid in your pursuit. That's called a satsanga. You see? Even the rishis were having congregations. They were also living together. You see, it's not that they were all living all alone, please. They're all there together. But then, this aratihi means you don't cherish. Which company you don't cherish? Why you don't cherish them? How do they distract? All this you need to understand. See, like I simply say, from childhood you have been going to the Krishna temple. You go around and come. Go around and come. One day the fellow stands next to you and asks, is it granite or marble? What happens? See, have you ever seen one thing, very interesting one? Have you ever observed atheist afraid of a theist? Atheist is the one who will invite the theist for debate. Come, 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 he will say. He will never deter. Whereas no theist goes to atheist. What conviction must be having? Madras Live, we used to go for such meetings. I'll go for that meeting, and the meeting would straight, I'll run. No, I have to go. Where are you going? Say, no, Keshav Perumal Koil. What? Keshav Perumal Koil. Why? There's a Harikatha. Today is, Vrindavan Leela is coming today. I have to go for that. Calling an Ardhana, he said, tomorrow I'll do. I have to go, I can't miss it. This group fellows used to get confused. Why? And when I tell them, why you are late? Say, the DK, Dravadar Kadam. So on the speaker. DK meeting bird. What? You should not go there. Why? If they have that much of conviction to disturb you, why is it that you are not having the same conviction to disturb him? An atheist can easily disturb a theist. This fellow can easily disturb you. From next day onwards, when you see that statue, can you see that as Krishna or as Marbula Granita? One question is enough to spoil. Till you get established, what you should do, sir? Avoid the company of people who disturb your pursuit. This is how they disturb. Once you get established, it doesn't make any difference. Right? It doesn't make any difference. Then you are solid. But then, when you are in the path, avoid the crowd. Because the crowd is always where now? Towards the world. Ramatirtha, beautiful statement of his. If number is what is to be defining the truth, then Satan's religion is bigger than yours. Fascinating. Satan has more followers. You know, truth ought not to be weighed by numbers, my dear. What a statement. Truth ought not to be weighed by numbers. Today we weigh every number. Then he says, Satan religion has more followers. Is that truth then? Aratihi with the crowd. It's not hatred, it is not indifference, it is not carelessness, it is not fear. Remember, it's not because of all these things. It doesn't have that taste. That's it. The preference is not there. That's all. That rasa is not there. He don't prefer. It doesn't mean he hates people. It doesn't mean he's scared of crowd. You scaring, sir. Nothing of that. Beautiful qualities. Vivikta Desha Sevitvam. And Arati Jana Samsiddhi.